Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pathway to Results podcast. It is your boy DG. We are here. This episode that I'm going to talk about, it's a game changer if you can grasp it. And I don't know, I'm still trying to figure it out, but I think you have to be at a certain level of, I don't know, like a certain level of accountability, a certain level of healing to be able to say this or really comprehend this. But I'm going to go ahead and say this, okay? Let's think of it like this. You ready? What's important in life? What's important? Ask yourself this. What is important? And whatever you deem as important, this is going to be hard for a lot of people to hear. Whatever you deem as important, know that suffering is going to come with it. And what about nothing? What about family? What about... Okay. Understand, when we add importance to something, it's going to create suffering. And here's what I mean. If making a lot of money is important to you, with importance comes attachment. Okay? With importance comes attachment. So now, if it's super important, I have super attachment. Well, we know that the ego does. The ego attaches because it needs a place to live. So the moment that something is important to you, that's when we introduce the opportunity for suffering. Well, love is important. Okay, love is important. The moment that you feel like you're not going to get it, guess what? You're going to start suffering. Well, what about oxygen? Yeah, you're right. Oxygen is needed, right? But if you add importance to it, the moment that you feel like you're not getting oxygen or it looks like you're not going to get it, guess what? You'll start freaking out. You'll start panicking. So the key is us being able to find the balance of caring, but not adding importance to it. So I have goals, I have dreams, I have responsibilities, I have all of these things. But the moment that I add importance to it, what am I doing now? I'm attaching to the outcome. I'm attaching part of me or my identity or who I am or what I am to it. So this is why and this is, a lot of athletes that maybe you're listening to right now. If you want to get and become, not just athletes, but anybody, if you want to reach your full potential, get rid of the importance. What? He told me nothing's important. No, I didn't say that. When you start realizing that no thing is really important, you'll start to see that everything is important. Nothing is more important than the other thing. Nothing is less important than the other thing. The importance is coming from your perspective. So that's why certain things in our country are more important than certain things in another country. This is what the issue is. This is why we see suffering. This is why we see wars. This is why, because this plot of land is more important to us than this, and that's what we're going to fight about it. So when we start understanding that our importance or the importance that we add to something is what's creating our suffering, we can drastically eliminate the suffering. So I'm going to give you a real life example, right? I'm recording this podcast right now, but I just did a podcast episode before that. I did a podcast episode before that I've been wanting to record for a while, and now I finally recorded it, and I didn't do it right because I was being distracted. I was thinking about something else while I was doing it. I was on live. I was talking of it. And I didn't do what I was supposed to, and it didn't save. It didn't save. So now it's gone. It's done. What? I can go and do it again, but it won't be like the first one. If I had added a level of importance to it, like, I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to have this. I got to. Now, guess what? I'm going to be in a bad mood all day. I'm literally going to create the suffering in direct relation or direct correlation to the importance of being able to record that. So here's the deal. Because I know what you're probably thinking, well, isn't it important to heal? Isn't it important to know myself? Isn't it important to work on myself? Maybe, maybe not. Who's establishing importance? What is important? Because it's important for you to work on yourself and find yourself, but it's not universal, because that guy who's sitting at the bar every night, it's not as important for him to work on himself as it is for you. So this is how we know it's a self thing. It's a self thing. It's not a universal thing. Importance doesn't exist in this universe. We establish it. This is the thing that we have the ability to do. We can add importance to something, but know that if we add importance to something, there's a high possibility that we're going to be attached to it. If we're attached to it, we're creating suffering. So instead of adding importance to something, we prioritize it. This is the balance. So I stop adding importance to things. I got to do this. I got to make this much. It's got to be this big. It has to be. And instead, hey, here's the priority. And now here's what ended up happening. The priority shifts from being a physical thing to now an energetic thing. It went from prioritizing the product to now prioritizing the process. It went from prioritizing the effect, good God Almighty, y'all ain't trying to hear me right now, to prioritizing the cause. And now there's a shift. I'm not coming from a place of importance anymore. I got to do this. I got to have that. And I'll tell you what, life feels just a little bit more fluid. Life feels just a little bit more, what do they call that? Being in the flow. Life feels just a little bit more like, and then I asked myself, is this how it was intended to be? This is what the animals must feel. This is what the birds must feel. This is what the squirrels, the bears, the ants, this is what they must feel. They don't have the ability to add importance to something. They just do things off of instinct. Instinct establishes priority for them. I got to eat. I got to have shelter. I got to have warmth. You see, we got away from it though, because we got conditioned. We got programmed as to what's important in your life. So here's what I want you to do. Go ahead and write down what's important in your life and ask yourself, why is it important? And be truthful and start to see if the importance of that thing in your life, see if that is actually you that's added importance, or is it society? Is it your parents? You thought it was important to go to med school and become a doctor and go to college and do all this. Is that you, or is that society? Or was that your parents because it was important to them? Do you see how this gets passed down? So now the moment that you look like you're not going to get good grades, or the moment that it looks like it's not going to happen, you're going to graduate college, guess what? You're going to start suffering. And this is what we call stress, my friend. This is what I've learned in my own life. If I can diminish the importance of everything, now I'll have a harmonious balance with it. Do you see? Because here's what ends up happening. The only thing that existed was the present moment. Nothing else existed other than now in this three-dimensional reality. But when something's important to me, that means actually in the now I don't have it. So you got that sweatshirt on your back, and it's not important until you start to consciously think about it, because you already had it. You're not worried about it. So importance is essentially us being unaware of when we are attached to something. And the only reason why you would be attached to something is because you don't have it. You're not going to be attached to something that you have. You're attached to something that you do not have. Do you see how this works? So, what's the step? What do we do? How do we do this? Because I don't want us to, walk around like, I don't care about nothing, man. I don't care. I don't look, dude. The world, man. I don't need anything. Nothing's important. No, it's not that. You were supposed to care, but you were not supposed to have an excess amount of energy and caring to the point that importance would take place. And now when importance takes place, now we've just moved into the inharmonious sector of now we moved into the energy of attachment. Do you see how this works? So I care. Oh, I care that the podcast didn't get recorded, but not to the point that it's going to create suffering. It wasn't that important. Because at some point in this physical existence, all of us are going to have to leave. Every single one of us is going to have to leave. All of us. In the body that you got right now, you're going to have to go. You got a two-way ticket. You're going to have to get back up on that plane and head on out of here and head back to the upper room. You're going to have to leave. You're going to have to go. So really, at the end of the day, what is important? Truly, can't be the money. It can't be the money, because that money ain't going to the grave with you. It can't be the money. It can't be the house. It can't be the house. It can't be the car. Can't be the relationship. I know this is hard. This is hard because we think like, oh, it has to be important. How can it be? It's going to be done. It's going to be done here soon. So instead of adding importance to something so that you suffer when it looks like it's about to end, why do you think people are so scared to death? Why do you think people are so scared to death? We're the only animal, we're the only creature that we know of that knows that it's going to die. We know that we're going to die, and we know that we have to die, and we suffer over dying. Y'all ain't trying to hear me right now. Think about it. People are scared to death of death, knowing good well they're going to have to die. It don't make no sense. Don't make no sense. None. We don't do this with anything else. You know it's a constant. It has to happen. But here's why. Here's why. It's because you've been conditioned to think that certain facets of life were just so important and you needed to be so attached to it and you need to hold on to it so much. Y'all trying to hear me. They ain't trying to hear me right now. Y'all ain't trying to hear me. This is a paradigm shift. I'm picking you up and dropping you on your head right now. This is a complete opposite directions right now. So nothing's important. The importance was established by you. And that was the power that you had, my friend. You had the power to establish what was important in your life. The key, though, was not to get to the point of importance, but we want to move into caring and priority. So yes, I prioritize my health. I prioritize my family. I prioritize my well-being. I prioritize all human souls. But it's not so important to me to the point when I can't do this and I can't do it and I can't do that I'm all up in arms. So this is why when you look at Bruce Lee, when he said, you got to be like water, my friend. Imagine if water had the same energy that we have sometime. And everything's important. And you go to drink that water that was in that bottle. That water was in the shape of the bottle. And what if that water said, this bottle is so important. This bottle is who I am. This bottle is who I've always been. This bottle is me. And that water forgot what it was, and it established its importance in being in that bottle. When you drank that water, how much different would the experience be? Because that water didn't want to come out of its home, its narrative, its personality, its personal reality, its identity, because that bottle was so important to it. And now here you are, parched, thirsty, needing something to drink, and you can't drink it because the water says, no, this is too important. This is too important. I have to stay in this bottle. And you like, no, this is important. I need the water now. I need the water. I'm parched. And guess what? Now here you are at war with each other. Is this not what happens in our world right now with human beings? We'll fight over what's important. Well, this is important to me. Well, this is important to me. And then guess what? We'll start a war over it. What the? What? It's important today, but will it be important down the road? No. You know how it is. Something's important to you one minute and then boom, it's gone. Like, man, I don't even care about that anymore. Here's because words can mix this up, right? You're going to say, oh, it was supposed to be nonchalant. I'm not supposed to care. No. Care, but be tactful with your energy. Care. Be tactful with where you put your energy. Don't just give it away and say, this is important. Why is it important? Huh? Why is it important? Well, I don't know. Because they told me it was important. What the? What? Why? Says what? Wait, where? Who? What? No. You develop it. You develop what's important, but not to the point where you just give it away, give your energy, give it away. Because the moment that it's important, you take it away, you're done. You're screwed. You're done. You're stuck. Now what? You're in a vibrational mosh pit. Be responsible with your energy. Be responsible with your attention. Do not just give it away so fruitlessly to the point that now like everything's, oh my gosh, I got to have it. No. Hold on to nothing. And then you'll see that you had everything. Hold on to no thing and you will see that you had everything. So in my life, no thing is important. None of it is. None of it's important. But because none of it is important, all of it matters. All of it matters. All of it. None of it's important, but all of it matters. But if it was important, none of it would matter. Just the thing that was important. Do you see? We go from looking through the little end, the big end of a cone, to now looking through the little end and we can see more. So I know this is counterintuitive to what you've probably been taught. I know this is counterintuitive to what you've been conditioned. But I just sit back and look at my own life and look at other people's life who I work with. You know why you're suffering right now? It's because you had importance added to it. But that importance isn't really yours. So yeah, I'm here to do what I've been put here to do. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I'm not going to sit here and throw a fit. I used to. If you don't make the money that you think that you're worthy of, that's okay. It's all right. If you don't make it to the top of the mountain, if you don't reach your goal, that's okay. If you don't heal every wound, that's okay. Do you see how this works? If we're not careful, we'll end up beating ourselves down because of the importance that we added to it. It's pseudo importance. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't. It doesn't. So care. Care for everything. Care for everyone. Care about everything, but not to the point that your energy is out of control and now you're attached to it because it's so important. And be mindful, my friend, because this society that we're living in, they're telling you what's important and they're making you. They will make you. This is what's important. Here's what it is. Religion's important. Politics is important. Money's important. Debt's important. They're telling you everything. So now guess what? Oh my gosh, my credit card bills. Oh no. Yeah, but what if I didn't tie this month? Oh no, what was the government going to do? Oh no, COVID. Oh, wait. They're telling you everything that's important. You actually had the ability. You actually had the resources to establish what mattered to you. So this was the meaning of life. The meaning of life was you and what added meaning to it. What you added meaning to, that was the meaning of life. You had that power. So go ahead and take it back now. Go ahead and take it back. So there's some things that you probably holding on to in life still that seem important. Once you let go of them, you'll see that it wasn't necessarily that they were important. They were just tools to help you to figure out just a little bit more about yourself, but they weren't important. Remember how the mind processes importance. It's all or nothing. I have to have it or not. No, it's not that. It's not that at all. So what's my point? The whole point of today, this whole point of this podcast was for you to let go just a little bit more. Do not be careless. Do not be careless. Be carefree. Be balanced with your energy. It doesn't have to be, this is what it is. No. You can, look, the world's just going to keep spinning, right? You're going to get done in this body. You're going to come back again. You can do it again, or whatever you believe. Don't matter. It's really not that serious. I'm here to tell you this. I used to get stressed out. I'm talking about recently. Man, it ain't, come on, man. Come on, dude. You know what you're going to do. When you take your last breath, what are you going to be doing? What are you going to be doing? When you take your last breath, what are you going to be doing? Oh my gosh, I don't know why did it. No, you can be like, yeah, I'm done. All right, let me go ahead and reconvene with these other souls here on the other side. Oh. So you can eliminate a lot of the suffering in your life by diminishing the level of importance that you added to it. And that's the power that you have. That's the power we all have. They didn't tell you, though, you could do this. They made you think you had to hold on to everything. You don't have to. You can release. You can let it go. You can get the information. So this is why I told you this 6-month journey, while I'm taking souls on taking you on a 6-month journey. Sign up for release right now. If you were part of the 3-day event, you already know what time it is. We're going to turn up even more. It is a journey, a 6-month journey I'm taking you on. I will be your guide. I will be your coach. We got videos. We got recordings. We got live calls with me. We got a workbook. We got all of these things. Go to dgmindset.com, dgmindset.com, or social media. Go to the link in the bio and get yourself signed up for release. I'm telling you, I can just feel it. I just know my knower knows. My heart knows. We're going to help a lot of people help themselves. A lot. So keep going, my friend. Continue on your journey. Keep going. And please know that you matter. Please know that It's really not that serious. Just enjoy the ride. Sit back on the beach, kick back, and enjoy this ride. Make it a priority to enjoy this thing called life. And watch how much life starts to enjoy you. As always, I wish you nothing but the best on the journey to the pathway to your results.